Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being with us on this journey of discovery of the missions of coaches, trainers, and consultants. Today is going to be about marketing, and we have with us a special guest. His name is Aung Thura. Aung is the owner of the agency Ignite Marketing Communications, focused on several areas of expertise, such as marketing growth and strategy, as well as research, brand positioning, and advertising. Identifying issues of their clients and finding the right mix of marketing and communication activities is what helps him reach the goals of his clients the way they desire. Aung is doing insight development and engagement planning all the way to creative concepts and activation. Welcome, Aung. Thank you so much for being with me.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm really glad to be here with you today.
Tell us more about your story. How did you start on this path of marketing? What happened in your past that triggered your desire to help other people and other businesses to market themselves and communicate better with their clients?
I got started in marketing communications back in late 1997. One of the reasons was that because before that, I was in the hotel business for several years, worked in quite a few different places, Honolulu, Bangkok, etc. And I really loved the job. But the thing was, after 1997 financial crisis, the hotels weren't doing too well. And I started looking for opportunities. I had done some marketing before that. So anyway, I just happened to meet someone who was in the right industry, which was the marketing communications, advertising business. And I started working for him. And, have been with marketing communications ever since. So that's how I got started.
Okay, so many years behind you as experience in marketing. And Aung, I would like to ask you, what is your passion? What do you like doing? Because I know that we have different tastes or different desires and different wishes on this world. And we all started because we wanted to help others and because we have a drive to make this world a better place. And this is also our mission, to share the mission of coaches, trainers, and consultants. So what is your passion and what is your mission today?
I think one thing I learned in the hotel industry was that I like working with people. I like helping people. Working in a front desk of a hotel, it doesn't require much help, but I enjoy the interactions and helping them get around Honolulu or Bangkok, etc. And I think that's got me started, and I also got very interested in learning about people, meaning the beauty of working in a hotel is that people from all over the world come to you. You get to meet people from, everywhere in the world. So, that, piqued my curiosity, and I wanted to learn about people. And when I started working in advertising, it also happens that, I have to understand people. I have to understand what people need. I have to understand their wants, desires, their hopes, their fears, etc. So that for me to successfully market to them, communicate to them, fulfill their needs, it was about understanding people. So therefore, understanding people, learning about people's psychology, and in some ways, I'm not a trained psychologist, but or a sociologist. But you have to learn these things as you go along. And the more I learned about this, psychology, about motivation, and people, why they do the things they do, I love it. I like to integrate it into my daily work, which is marketing, communication strategy, etc. So my passion, if I were to just summarize it, is about learning about people, getting to know them, and trying to really understand them, not at a superficial level. So that's my thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Aung. This is really impressive. And I know that we as business owners, when we start our businesses, we don't even know that we have to market ourselves. So we are starting very enthusiastic with an idea, and that's it. This is going to revolutionize the world. And then we realize that there is so much more. There is communication, as you mentioned, but more importantly, understand our clients, understand their needs, understand how to talk to them. And I would like to ask you our next question. What is one technique that small business owners could apply today to identify the right communication strategy. Because exactly of this, because we don't know how to market ourselves, what can we do?
Okay. I think it comes back to what I was talking about, is about understanding people. I think if we can understand people, then we will understand what they want, what they don't want, what they are afraid of, what they would like to be, what they aspire to be in their lives. And when we naturally try to help them become whatever they want to be, or at least help them not face or help them face their fears, or various things, then we become useful for them. And it's a natural thing. I think it happens in human beings, where if we're just trying to help people, and I would put it at that level, where I will try to help someone, and that becomes my thing. So in terms of communication technique, it's not necessarily a technique, but you are trying to add value for them. You are trying to give them solutions to the challenges they face, just as people helping each other. And I think that can be the most powerful thing that you can do: understand and try to help in your own way. Of course, the way I can help people will be different from how you help people, but each in our own way. I think we have ways of helping each other, people, and I think that becomes a communication point, or the thing that you do. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Aung. Absolutely, I fully agree with you. And I believe that many businesses fail because they don't identify exactly what you mentioned. What do our clients want, and how do we speak to them? And what are their problems, and how can we help them? And would you say that some business owners fail because they don't identify the pain and the desire of their clients, really the psychological part of what is happening with them, and how can we solve their problems?
Right. I think that goes back to the marketing bit. I would bring the marketing principles in here a bit. Is that when we as marketers, or we as business owners, are just trying to sell things, I think that's where the problem is. We are focused more about selling. We're more focused about making money. I mean, I want to make money. That's why I'm doing all the things that I do also. But you first have to help someone, and I think when you can help someone, then money will come later. So it's I think I won't, it's not necessarily a mistake, but it's more of a you are very enthusiastic. You have your when I started this business, I was very enthusiastic. I was really keen. I had a lot of energy, too much energy maybe, and I wanted to do things. And sometimes when I don't get to do things, it's frustrating. So I would frankly, push things, oh yeah, please buy this, do this, try to not only push things of products or services, but push a point of view, meaning that, I'm trying to tell my clients that, hey, I'm right, you are maybe wrong. My point of view of how to do this is the only way to do it. And when we do that, I think if there's a fit, it kind of works out. But when there isn't, or sometimes there's a misalignment because we don't quite understand the needs, then the problems happen. And that's when I don't sell, when I cannot solve my clients' problems. But when I can, sometimes without even trying, maybe, I've kind of solved the problem for them. So, it's a bit hard because we are so invested in our business, invested in what we do for a living, but also, it comes back to our self-identity, and we want to protect that. We want to make it grow. And when someone, the other side, doesn't want to buy it, doesn't put a value to it, then it becomes a little bit, I don't know, maybe we get a bit defensive. So yeah, I think yeah, that's what I think.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aung, and I fully agree with you. And this happened to me as well. As you mentioned, I was very enthusiastic at the beginning of my business, and yes, I have an idea, I go out there, and then I become a millionaire. This didn't happen like that. And slowly, I start to understand that exactly what you mentioned, that I need to give more value to my people, to my clients, and really add value to their lives, really try to help them, because everything else is going to come later on. And I also believe that this is an issue that we have nowadays, that there are so many products, so many services, so many programs out there on the market that we don't know what to choose anymore. And especially when we are at the beginning, we, as you mentioned, we force things and then they don't work. And from my experience, what happened is that I get aligned to myself and I am wondering, is this something that I would like? Or is this a behavior that I would apply for myself? Or how I would like other people to treat me? And this is exactly when I find my answer and I find my true nature. So I believe that, as you mentioned, it all comes down to our identity.
Yes.
And I would like to ask you next, Aung, what do you think are some of the tools that can help us know how to market ourselves? And what are the resources that we can engage in order to advertise our business according to our nature?
Okay. This is a bit of a longer answer. I think the first, of course, is understanding people. We've talked about it, so I won't go into it too much, but I would talk about, okay, how we use that to kind of get our message out there as individuals. I think the first thing is, again, something I learned along the way was being true to yourself, but, being yourself. These days, they call it authenticity. Authenticity is important, and try not to be something or someone that you're not. And, as small business owners, our identities are tied very closely with our businesses, meaning how others see our business is how they see us or see me. So, it's very close, and sometimes it's inseparable. So what happens is that, or what I do as an individual kind of affects my business as well as, vice versa. So it's, and I think, our clients, people are quite smart enough that, they can tell if I'm, trying to be pretending to be something I'm not, trying to do something that is not true to myself. So, you have to be, authentic. But the challenge, of course, is confidence, is that, I'm afraid that if I put myself out there as it is, then, they're not going to like me. They're not going to, like, I don't know, like the way I sound, the way I look, how I say things, how I sell things, etc. So, there was a lot of confidence issues, and I was much younger then also. So, that kind of took time to build up. So, the first thing is understanding people. Second thing is be yourself, be yourself. Of course, there are so many aspects about ourselves, but we want to highlight the good things, kind of like Instagram, right? We put out the cool things, the beautiful things about our lives. So I think that's okay. It's honest, but, it's also fairly selected. And I think that that comes to the personal brand. Now, I'm not a great fan of the word personal branding, but, it's about personal reputation management, because brand is something you do for an inanimate, an object that doesn't have a personality, that doesn't have character, that doesn't have a, unique look. We are all unique, how we talk, how we look, how we talk, etc. So, brands need that because they are objects. We don't need it because we already have it in us. So, the personal reputation management, and again, going back to the Instagram example, we would highlight, 1, 2, 3 things of our lives that are helpful in convincing the client that, one is that we know what we're talking about. Second is, we can deliver what we are promising. And the third thing is, I think it's an overall thing, is it's about, trust, building trust. And maybe, okay, I would kind of switch it around and outside saying that, get that trust out there, build the trust, and then credibility comes. And then, we can keep our promises of, we will deliver the services that they need. So in terms of the marketing communication thing, it's about a brand, maybe your company brand, your business brand, your consultancy brand, and, delivering it through building trust. But, there's one thing you have to do before you build that trust, is that, you have to put yourself out there so that they see what you are, they know what you are capable of, or they kind of guess what you're capable of. And then, oh, okay, at least, this person or this service can help me achieve my goal, meaning we add value to their lives. So to get that out, I think, Instagram, Twitter, I think all the channels, a lot of people talk about it, so I won't go too much, but, YouTube is a great way, but it's something I have to admit that, I struggle with doing videos on a regular basis. Doing videos occasionally is fine, but it's not easy to do it on a regular basis, I'm sure you know. And I think a lot of viewers or whoever's viewing this will know. So find a way to put yourself out there in all the honesty that you can muster to build that trust. When they trust you, you will gain credibility, and they will understand that, okay, this person, this company can do or help me with my problems. So a bit of a long explanation, but I think that's how I see it.
No, this is perfect. Thank you so much, Aung. And I fully believe that if we get out there on the market, we become visible. And as you mentioned, then people start to like us and trust us, then this is when the success comes. And I know many coaches who don't dare to put themselves out there because maybe they don't know what to say, maybe they are afraid, as you mentioned, that they are going to be judged. And this is really not the way of going, because as business owners, I believe that we need to embrace who we are. And what I'm passionate about when you talk about marketing and being true to yourself, I realize that everything comes down to who we are, to our personal development. So whether it's about marketing, whether it's about leading our business, whether it's about sales, it all comes down to being authentic. And This is something that I fully embrace, and I fully agree that is something that we need more in our businesses today. Right. Thank you so much, Aung. Thank you so much for your explanations and for your teaching. I know that our audience is learning a lot, and I am also learning a lot. Thank you so much. I would like to ask you the last question. What is the first step in building a powerful marketing campaign? Because you are in charge of both marketing and communication, what can we do to really make it successful?
Okay, again, it's about people. In marketing, one of the biggest mistakes people make is that they use the word consumers. And again, just like personal branding and personal brands, and I have an issue with the word consumer also, is that the moment we start to look at people, people like me, people like you, people like the audience, we are people, we are not consumers. Maybe, it's semantics where, you are only a consumer when you are consuming the product. So we need to look at them as people. And as people, what happens? We know what happens as people. We have our problems, we have our challenges, we have all of the daily things that happen in our lives that we're trying to deal with, but also, try to achieve something better, more in our lives. So in that point, right, they have people have problems, people have challenges, people have aspirations. The key thing is, where does your product fit into, helping them? Is your product, let's say cosmetic products are very, it's all about giving people confidence. It's about giving, the belief, confidence to go out and, do something, or, do these things. Cosmetics are confidence. And it's also about, making sure that, people, I would say it's about confidence. The second thing is, other categories like, automobiles, mobile phones, they can be status symbols. If I drive a certain type of automobile brand, I'm elevating myself for others to see me as, oh yeah, this guy has a lot of money, or the type of phone I use. So that's the second type. And the third type is just more of very problem solution, meaning, I use Excel to do my spreadsheets. I use PowerPoint to make my presentations. So, knowing where your product or service fits into that, are we helping them deal with the fear? Are we helping them, succeed? Are we helping them just, have a functional thing, functional issue? If we can figure that out and we, connect with that need at that point, and we communicate to them in a compelling way. Compelling way means, it just means that, okay, this product is going to make you successful. For example, it may just be Excel work. I'm promoting Excel, but how can Excel make you successful? If we can link to that very high level desire, high level aspiration with a spreadsheet, yeah, you can learn to do Excel really well so that you become a millionaire, for example. If we can try to link that in our communications, then we will do really well with our product. Because the biggest issue most marketing campaigns have is, they're trying to talk about the features and the functionalities. And, yeah, we got to talk about it, features and functionalities. Excel, we need to be able to, multiply, do all the formulas, need to sort all these things. But in the end, why are we going through that? We are going through that so that we can, let's say, manage our business well, or I can do my numbers really well so that my boss appreciates the work that I put in and gives me a promotion. So that endpoint and this thing, we'll have to find that link, and it's all different for all different types of business, products, or services. So I think that would be the important thing and the process that we can use.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Aung. And when speaking, this reminded me of what is actually happening right now with these interviews that I'm conducting. And I realized that those people I contacted directly, and I am in direct contact, sending them the questions or asking them certain things, asking them more personal questions, are coming in the interviews. Whilst those who just found my link somewhere and registered and then booked the session, they are not joining. And I wanted to ask you, what is happening? Do you think that building the personal relationship has a certain meaning for those clients or for those people who want to enjoy a free product, for example? Do you think that we as business owners should focus more on building the relationship than just selling to masses?
Okay, I think it's a tricky question because it's something that I'm also trying to figure out myself, how to do it online. These days, everything is online on certain channels, on certain mediums, and we have to learn to crack that code, right? And I think each individual business or an individual consultant, teacher, whatever, will be different. Coming back to the relationship, I think it's really important to have that relationship because, we talked about trust, credibility, etc. But making that first contact, I think that's the hardest thing of all. I'm fairly confident that, okay, once, people meet me, able to hear what I have to say, how I say it, and how I think about this problems or, or solutions, I think they can see the value I can offer. But just getting to that point is, it's very difficult. And I think, building relationships at the very beginning also, maybe, I don't know, it may be just that, they are not available or something came up at that point in time, because it may be that. So to be honest, Diana, I don't quite have a answer to that. I think it's that first connection, in your case, I think you learned something that, okay, this works better than the other thing. But, it may be other factors as well. The way that I would approach it from a marketing point of view is that whatever the first impression they get of us, whether it's a post, it's a leaflet, a brochure, our website, etc., just needs to communicate that, okay, we know what we're talking about. And when they are in need, I guess that's when they will come to us. Recently, right, I just want to share two more things. I hope if there's time, is that I learned two things. One is that, the 80 Pareto principle, 80-20 principle, right?
Yes.
Apparently, there's a 5%, 95%, or 5-95 principle as well. Apparently, what it means is that 95% of the time, people are not in the market for buying our products or any particular product, meaning 95% of the time they are going on with their lives, they are doing whatever they are doing. And only 5% of the time is, they are actively seeking, okay, I need a solution to this. My phone's not working anymore. I need a new phone. My car, okay, people don't respect me anymore because my car is old, so I need a new car. Or, I need to learn a new skill, so therefore I need to go out and learn to do Excel, for example. So 5% of the time, that's when they are in the market. And when these things coincide, I think it works really well. Now, what happens is 95% of the time. What can we do with that 95% of the time? Very briefly, though, I think it's about having a presence on your key touch points, social media, and or social media or websites or your email, mailing list, etc. And a fairly regular reminder of, hey, I'm still around. I'm still doing this if you are interested. So at this point in my life, I still haven't found the right balance of being how far to push and how much I have to back down. When I was younger, I would be push. That didn't work very well. So kind of learn to back down a bit, but you don't want to back down too much also, because then you may lose some opportunities to some other thing, or people lose interest. So yeah, I think
yeah, thank you so much, Aung. Yes. Yes, this answers a lot my question, and also helps our listeners to apply these techniques in their own business. Thank you so much for being with us today and for teaching us so many valuable skills that you learned over the years. I would like to ask you, before we close today, who are you serving and how can people contact you?
Okay. In general, I do two things. Marketing communications campaigns, which is basically saying that, I create marketing strategy, marketing plans, and communication, which is TV commercials, print ads, and things like that, or leaflets, brochures, whatever it is. So I think that's the main thing I do. The insight development, it kind of, insight sounds very, broad and general, but what it means is I just try to understand people. So for those two things, market research and advertising campaigns, marketing campaigns, I can be reached. I will share the our website link to you in a bit, but it's ignitemc.us. ignitemc.us. MC is marketing communications. I just cannot get the right domain, so I went with that. And who am I serving? I think these are the people I'm trying to help. Is small businesses, large businesses that need growth in their products, in their marketing activities. These are the people I serve. And if I may, I just want to add one thing more. I just finished writing a book called How to Set Up a Small Business for Beginners. Because at this time, I see a lot of people who are basically, they lost their jobs, they get pay cuts, a lot of things are happening, or maybe, they just want to go out and do their own things. And it hasn't been published. It will be on Kindle at one point. And it's all about helping someone, a newbie, set up a business from the ideation all the way to, talking about HR, because, we run a business, and, I learned all about HR, finance, accounting, all the things that I didn't know before. When you start a business, you have to learn all these things. And so, based on my learnings, based on other things, I wrote that book. And so I hope to serve small business owners in the very near future when the book comes out. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Aung. And for those of you who need more strategy, who need to plan your marketing campaigns, don't hesitate to contact Aung. He's there to help you and support you. Thank you so much, Aung, for being with me today. And thank you so much for all the valuable insights you gave to us through this interview.
Right. And thank you so much for having me, Diana. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I wish you all the best. I think it's a very big and ambitious program that you set yourself on, but sometimes you got to shoot for the moon, right? Like they say.
Absolutely.
So wish you the best success, and hope to be in contact in the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Aung. And for those of you listening to us, don't hesitate to contact Aung. He's there to support you and help you in your journey, in your business. Stay connected, because more is to come. Happiness, marketing, mindset in business, and leadership are all topics that we need to be aware of and to master. Thank you so much for being with us. See you next time.